Today we discuss Oreos, not the fat content or the calories or its merits among other cookies, or how they seem to have gone off the deep end with variations. I'm going to be using Oreos as an analogy for effective paragraph writing. An analogy is when a comparison is made between two different or opposite things, kind of using like a logical argument. Analogies demonstrate how two things are alike by pointing out some shared characteristics. And there are actually plenty of shared characteristics between an Oreo and an effective paragraph. Now, I know some of you may have different ideas of what is required in a paragraph, so I'm going to give you a very easy model to follow and some very easy expectations to follow. And that's where the Oreos come in. As we all know, the Oreo is made up of three separate parts: the top cookie, the filling, and the bottom cookie. And so shall your paragraphs be. Let's talk about what I mean. Starting with the top cookie. Now, this is the first part of the Oreo that you bite into. It sets the stage by introducing like the chocolatey vibe, the chocolatey taste that the cookie seeks to create. This is just like the role of a first sentence in a paragraph. It's your topic sentence. It should introduce the subject of the paragraph and give it a specific direction. Like with the Oreo, it introduces a chocolate flavor, but I'd have a whole different feeling with like a golden Oreo or an Oreo with some other type of flavor to it. Different taste, different topic. So like whatever the flavor is of that first cookie you bite into is kind of going to set the stage for the taste of the cookie. In the same way, the topic sentence sets the stage for like the taste of the paragraph, the vibe of the paragraph. So let's construct a topic sentence. Let's say something like, crunchy, creamy Oreo cookies and paragraphs share common ingredients. So we can see that our paragraph here will be about the characteristics of an Oreo and the ingredients that contribute to them. That's our focus. So we don't want to start talking about like Teddy Grahams or cupcakes or Cheetos or some other type of snack food. Our paragraph is focused on the characteristics of an Oreo. So we will focus our paragraph's filling on emphasizing that main point, on backing up the topic sentence, of supporting the topic sentence. Now, Oreo filling doesn't really have a flavor other than sugar. So what it really does is it just kind of emphasizes, just kind of amplifies the chocolate flavor of the cookie. And that's what our paragraph details need to do for our topic sentence. So our topic sentence is like introduced what we're going to be talking about. In this case, with our example sentence, we're talking about the characteristics of an Oreo and how they relate to a paragraph. Now, everything we say in that paragraph needs to back that up. So a good length for any paragraph, unless it's like a very short transitional paragraph, is probably going to be about 5 to 7 sentences. So that's where we should aim with our paragraph about Oreos. So these sentences need to do several things to emphasize that main point. First, they need to give the paragraph unity. Every sentence needs to relate back to and support that topic sentence. Like I said earlier, don't start talking about another snack food. Don't start talking about another type of cookie. Don't even talk about JoJo's, the Trader Joe version of Oreos. This is a paragraph about specifically Oreos. Keep that focus all the way through. Second, they need to support the topic sentence. Don't just restate the topic sentence. If I've said in the topic sentence that Oreos and paragraphs share common ingredients, you don't need to tell me that again, especially right away. Tell me about the common ingredients, why they relate to each other, why it's a good example. Don't be repetitive. You don't have to restate your topic sentence just yet. You want to support why your topic sentence is actually true, to prove why your topic sentence is actually right. Third, organization is going to be key to all of this. Make sure that your ideas are clear. Check to see if everything agrees with itself grammatically, use transitions between your points, structure it in such a way that's easy to follow for your reader. And when we do all of these things, we get filling, quote unquote, filling in the paragraph that looks like this. Like the chocolate sandwich on top of the Oreo, a paragraph's topic sentence provides a delicious introduction to the main idea of the paragraph. Inside the paragraph, the rich, smooth filling or the supportive details support and develop the topic sentence. At the bottom of the cookie and at the end of the paragraph, the delectable experience ends with a final chocolatey crunch or with a clincher sentence that restates the main idea in a powerful new way. If necessary, it also gives the transition to the next wonderful Oreo. Finally, we get to the bottom cookie. This is the sentence that summarizes and concludes, referring back to the topic sentence. This is where you may want to restate your main points at the very end so the reader can get a sense of closure about the paragraph. But Much like an Oreo, your final sentence may need to transition into the next paragraph, much like an Oreo leaves you with a desire to have another Oreo. So you might want to end with a sentence that kind of transitions into the next paragraph. That gives a little preview of what's going to come next. This really helps if you're writing a paper, if you have a paper with several paragraphs that kind of relate all to the same topic, but you need to find clever ways to transition between those paragraphs. So think of it as like, moving from cookie to cookie to cookie, like you're binging on those cookies. You don't want your reader to stop. You want them to keep consuming, like you may keep consuming Oreos. So you can get something like this when you do a conclusion sentence. In summary, when biting into a scrumptious Oreo cookie, remember that it has 3 parts, just like a paragraph. And putting it all together, we get this.